Hi everybody, this is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. I'm just going to do a 3-card reading today for the remainder of April going into the beginning of May. It doesn't replace the video that I'm going to do in May. I'm just finding that the time feels a little bit strange over the last week or so. And I've noticed that lots of people have put up videos on YouTube already for May and have done so for about the past 4 or 5 days. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Because we've still got a bit of April to go. It's almost as though we're trying to leap ahead into the next month, which always makes me a little bit suspicious that we're maybe trying to leapfrog over something that actually we need to be facing or looking at in these last few days of April. So I've just got the cards here in front of me and I'm just going to shuffle and I'm going to ask Archangel Metatron to speak through them and give us a message for this last period that we're in. And I'm making this video on April the 21st, 2015. So we've still got a little bit of May to go and I'd just like to look at what's going on. So let's pull 3 cards out. Number 1, pull one out from here. Number 2, and then finally number 3. That one feels like it wants to come out. Okay, always look at what's on the bottom of the pack as well, and that's quite a powerful card. Number 13, and it's Archangel Azrael. It says release, and it says the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. Pretty sure I'm right in saying that Archangel Azrael is also the one that helps to gather souls up when it's their time to pass over. So there is a literal meaning there in terms of moving on to a different dimension. It may be that we have an influx of souls who are going to be passing around this time. Sometimes you find that there are a number of people that choose to go together, whether that be in something that happens in society or whether it's just a group of souls from the same soul group who may be dotted around the world who choose to move on at the same moment. So that's one meaning of 13, but equally 13 is about rebirth and transformation, and that can be obviously whilst we are still here in a physical body on this earth. So definitely there's something coming up with that 13 card. Let's look at the other 3 to hopefully try and make sense of it. So I've got 3 cards here, dropping that one on the floor. 2 are related to the element of water, air rather, and 1 is related to the element of water. And they all have quite a strong message that goes with them. The first one, the Ace of Air. If I just show you the image of that, the words on the card say a brilliant new idea and inspiration, seeing the truth of a situation, but sometimes a challenging beginning. And I can relate to this myself, and also I know people in my immediate circle who are absolutely going through this at the moment, who are at the end of a cycle, they're at the beginning of something new, but it really is only because they have finally seen the truth of a certain situation, a person, a behaviour, a habit, something that's been going on for quite a long time, as though Metatron has really been illuminating some truths over this last few weeks of April. I know that doesn't apply to everybody, but it's certainly applying to a good portion of you. But as it says, it's a challenging beginning, so we're really just trying to find our feet with that. We've then got the Queen of Air, who is independent, experienced, realistic, and also has a sense of humour. And she's advising us to be objective in our decision making, clearing away anything that no longer serves us, and also keeping it light, seeing the humour in a situation. So they've got the Queen of Air. So again, another card very much about movement, about change, also talking about practicalities that maybe need to be sorted out at this time, but the need to also use our mental faculties just as much as our heart. So I almost feel as I want to say, not let our heart overrule our head at this time. It may be that our heart has moved us into new areas, new directions, but now we need the mind to kick in and to actually sort out some practical solutions and resources for whatever it is that's around us at this time. So using the heart and mind together. Within both of these cards as well, we've got the energy of the unicorn, and it's depicted in two of the cards here. White unicorn, and that very much is also about carrying the energy of Christ, unconditional love. So I feel as though it's important that those of us that are being asked to move on at this time do so from a place of love, not from a place of anger or recrimination or revenge, but to make our changes gently as we can, and to do so from love. The final card is the Eight of Water. Okay, so looking at this card here, we have a man sort of floating within the water, but also going upward for breath. And he's sort of leaving behind cups. So cups are all to do with emotions. And some of them actually look quite tarnished, and some of them look quite golden if you look at the picture. And so I think this is what this is implying, is the fact that sometimes what we're being asked to maybe move away from isn't all bad. And that may be a person, that may be a situation. It could also be something to do with a job. It may be that you're being asked to move on in terms of your career, and there are aspects to that job that are still good, but there are other aspects that don't satisfy you and you need to move on. It may be in terms of relationship, which you can see has its good aspects, but doesn't fulfill you at a deeper, more meaningful, intimate level. It may be to do with house moves. It could be any area of life really, but it just feels as though this person is being asked to move away, almost, and very much within the blue ray as well, which is all to do with trust and faith. And really what the figure is doing is it's going upward for the air, but it's also following the channels of white light which are coming towards it. So it's almost as though there is gravity at play here really. It's almost like the pull of energy upward, which is spirit guiding you to wherever you're next meant to be. And the Eight of Water on the card, it says a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, and spiritual and emotional growth. So I actually think that the cards that I've pulled here are sort of backing up what I felt Metatron was hinting at, which is that some people are wanting to almost leapfrog over this stage into the new pastures that May brings for us all, because the energy of May isn't as challenging, I don't feel, as April has been. And it may even be a month of reward for some of us who have done some of the work. But it definitely has a softer energy to it, a gentler energy that's arriving, certainly in the Northern Hemisphere where I'm making this, where it's springtime. So it's all symbolic to do with new growth and new beginnings. And I just feel as though we're all almost wanting to jump into that straight away. And it's as though Metatron is saying there is still some clearing up to be done in this last portion of April. The phrase spring cleaning comes into my mind. Literally and physically, he's saying. So it's not just spring cleaning our own mind in terms of thoughts and ideas and stale emotions. It is also a physical spring cleaning of our space, which is really beneficial to get new energy in. So whether it's that you're spring cleaning your home, whether it's you're going through your wardrobe and getting rid of all clothes that no longer fit you or don't suit you anymore, or you haven't worn for years, it's very much a time of release. And as I say, going back to that first card, it can also be physical release, people moving on from the earth sphere. Also, Metatron is saying that the release card 13 is to do with the fact that we are also, some of us, releasing from a lower dimension to a fourth or fifth dimension. And some of you, I know, are already operating in that space anyway, but I feel as though it's going to be a more continual space for many of you to be in, rather than just dipping in and out of it. It's going to be the natural environment in which you live going forward. So I'm hearing the words, this isn't a practice run anymore. This is us really having to do what we know is right, vibrationally, I'm talking about here. So living from our truth, detaching from drama, letting go of situations that no longer serve us, and really just standing in our I am presence and our connection to the divine, and knowing that we have all the answers within us. Somebody sent me a video link today on my Facebook page, and I can't even remember who the video is of. I haven't had time to watch it yet. It's an hour's video, so I'll watch it later tonight. Felicity, I think it was you that sent it to me, so thank you for that if you're watching this. I watched the first 2 minutes just while I was having my breakfast this morning, and I got the gist of certainly the first part. And what this person was saying is that so often we feel we have to keep cleansing and cleansing and cleansing and healing and healing and healing, and it's almost as though we're going round and round in circles, never ever getting anywhere. And what this particular teacher is saying is the fact that it's almost as though once you have survived something, it is done, it is over. And almost by going back into it all the time, it's almost like picking at an old wound. And sometimes it is literally just about we've come through something, we've survived something. That feels that the last few months have been about for many of us as well. And it's over. It's time to move on. I also had an email today from someone I've trained up in Metatron healing, presenting a problem in a sort of jokey way, I think, because the problem effectively is that since doing the Metatron healing method, people are healing so much quicker that it's almost as though they don't have to come back again. And that, of course, is a wonderful place to be, which is that you're actually, with Metatron's help, being able to heal things quickly. So I think that backs up again what I'm feeling, which is that this period we're in now in April is very much about the last, I want to say the last bits of sweeping away. And then I feel as though we need to almost draw a line under whatever the eclipses in particular brought up for us individually, and then move on from that. And if we haven't taken the steps we need to take, there is still time to do that. We will still be supported with that. But it's as though we need to close a door on what have been a couple of very challenging months for many of us. And May is going to be different. It's going to be a completely different energy. It's going to be lighter. But we have to pay attention to the last bits that come up in April. And I haven't got a calendar in front of me that shows me whether we've got any moon phases coming up. In fact, let me just have a look at my diary just to see whether there is anything coming up in the last bit of April. Doesn't actually look like it, no. So I'm being drawn, for example, obviously because of Metatron, to the 29th of April, 2 and 9 making 11. So that feels like a really nice day as well to really do some final work, if we haven't, to say goodbye to whatever the last couple of months have brought up for us. Okay, I'm going to pull one more card, which is like a sneak preview of May's energy after we've said that. Cards are really alive today. They're sort of falling all over the place. So there's a busyness to the last part of this month as well. Okay, that card literally has just jumped out at me. That fits in absolutely with what I was just saying. Busyness to this last period, a busyness in terms of cleaning up as well, spring cleaning, and we've actually got the Hermit card coming out. And he comes out when almost as though there is too much going on and we need to spend some quiet time. It says here in meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery, but it's very much a time for going inward rather than outward. So it may well be that in May we're asked to take big steps forward again, to expand on some of the ideas and inspiration that we got in April, or things that we've learned from the whole experience of the last couple of months. But this is saying that, again, the last part of April, the very beginning of May, is actually about almost like withdrawing and reviewing where we're at and what we've learned. So, and of course 9 is the start of a new cycle again, so it's all good. Alright, I shall speak to you soon again in a couple of weeks with the May video. Thank you all very much for watching. for connecting with me via here and also on my YouTube, on my Facebook page rather. I enjoy all your comments and feedback. Thanks very much.